So if you haven't seen part one, make sure that you go over and you watch part one. We ended up talking about why I don't wear long straight weaves. And I ended off talking about how I only do that if I'm going off on a money grab, right? And it's true. Like if you look gold diggery or you look high maintenance, men spend money on you. They are in this competitive mode where they are working on, I don't know, it's very strange because on the one hand you have men who are like, I'm not gonna provide and protect and all this other stuff, and on the other hand you have men who really enjoy a woman who has all of the fakeness and the aesthetic platitudes about her, right? So yeah, so I don't typically do that. I don't do that stuff anymore. I just be minding my own business now. Unless the days are in the past. Listen, let's go forward. Let's go forward, right? But I remember that there was one year that I had this long 24-inch weave and I had in these gray contacts, and it was New Year's Eve. And I put on this getup because it was New Year's Eve and I had on this sparkly dress and I was at this party, and there was this guy who was half Asian, half black, and he was chatting me up, and he was how he wanted to get to know me. And he was like just staring in my eyes, and he was like, your eyes are so beautiful. And he was like, what are you? What are you? And I remember back then people used to spend a lot of time being like, oh, well, you're biracial, that's why you, and calling me biracial and stuff. And I'm like, no. And I remember I went on this radio show, and I was like, I said I was bicultural, and the guy was like, that's why you're so pretty. You're biracial. And I was like, no, I said I'm bicultural. My father is Caribbean. My mother was American. And he was like, oh. But it's like that whole thing. It's like you receive these accolades for having Caucasian DNA. Ugh. I'm sorry. That was inappropriate. Inappropriate. Scratch that from the record, right? But you receive these accolades the closer you are to the oppressor or the quote unquote master race, or whether or not you're mixed with that, you get these accolades. And these accolades started from way back in the days, conditioning and mental programming. Right. So I said that I put on this wig because you all like this one the most, right? But what does this wig say? What does this wig say? Like people love this because they feel like it looks really natural for me. But natural for me, like a person who has this hair is mixed in some sort of way with something. And so it's like we covet these quote unquote mixed features. And we wear these hairs and these outward things that depict another race or genealogy. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let me take this off. I feel so free without hair. I personally I don't like hair too much. That's why I shave mine, right? And why I don't like men with beards, but that's a caveat. Let's keep going forward. I'm happy to have that off, right? Okay. So let's continue. Let's continue. When you wear another woman's hair on your head, even just another human, because we don't know where the hair is coming from, you're wearing another person's DNA. You're sewing in, gluing on, and pasting on top another human being's DNA on your head, and you're displaying this to the world. One of the things that we use to determine race is the hair, also the nose, right? And when you mask your own hair with the DNA of somebody else's hair on your outward appearance, you are living underneath the coat of this appearance. And you know what? Somebody commented on the video that we are not along the same lines as animals. No, 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 no. At the very base of everything, we are. This is why evolutionary psychology is one of my passions, because it goes into depth about how much like animals we really are. So we make our mating choices based on what it is that we see. So when we talk about makeup and we have on the makeup smoothing out our skin, making our skin look younger, putting on the blush, making ourselves look like we're blushing, that's where it all comes from, blushing. When we put on the waist cinchers to increase our waist to hip ratio or to suck in or hide the cellulite or all of these different things, we're actually projecting an image outward which may be very different than what it is that's going on the inside. Like for those of you who know me, right? You know that I drink half a gallon to a gallon every single day of water with fermented fruits inside of it, getting my probiotics on or whatnot. I'm a vegetarian. You guys asked what this moisturizer is. I use all natural vitamin E on my skin to help repair it. I'm a vegetarian. So these are the things that are depicted in my skin. Like I don't have on foundation. I didn't put on any yesterday. I know you guys don't want me pulling my skin like that. Sorry. I just wanted to just make the demonstration. I don't have on foundation and my skin is clear and my skin tells the story of the lifestyle that I lead. When we cover our face in this even tone, we're telling a story about the life that we live, how much water we drink, what's going on with us genetically, hiding any diseases or ailments that may exist there. So it's like we use all of these tricks to kind of put this image outward because men are very visual. They're very visual. So we use all of these things with the long fingernails and the different color eyes and the hair and all of this to exude something different, which we may not be. And I want to ask, what is this actually doing to our own self-love and our esteem? There were some women who came forward who were courageous enough to talk about how their attachment to weave made them feel like their own hair wasn't really good enough. There's some women who got to like when you look at John Gray and you see the darkness on his face, that's an indication of diabetes. It's like our skin tells these stories. So what story are we hiding from potential suitors? And then when we start talking about men being providers, protectors, for women that's very important. And so we know there are men who go out there renting cars, living it up in Miami with their rent money and all types of stuff, that are living a lifestyle that they really can't afford to live. And when you peel back the curtain on all of that, it was just a facade. So it's like, ladies, we got on these cinchers and shapewear and like, look, I have no issue with it because I wear those things too. However, I'd like to talk about us really coming into the dating world as real as we can. Like, look, if I'm going like the last time I went to Vegas and I was out there trying to see what I could get for nothing, and I had people spending money on me, buying me things because of that long hair that I had and the cinched in waist and all of this, and just being real pliable and laughing up at people's face and just being cute and not really exerting my warrior energy that I typically exert. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna act normal. I'm sorry. I'm acting foolish now. Okay, I'm sorry. So let's go forward. Let's go forward. We're going to be ending up the video in a little while because I want to leave some things unsaid for you to say in the comments. So it's like, okay, listen, and I get it. Look, I get it. Because black men do treat me differently when I'm all gold diggery. They want to spend more money then. Like, these people who are talking about, oh, they don't want to be protectors, they don't want to be providers. When it comes to other women, you know what I'm talking about. They don't come up with this. Women who are of a certain caliber, they don't come to them with that foolishness like, I'm not going to protect and I'm not going to provide. That's when they start laying it all down on the line and pulling up all their masculine energy and being like, this is what I can do. This is, oh, be with me, be with me. That's when they get real competitive trying to get with this woman. They don't talk that nonsense. But when it comes to other types of women, they want to give them bottom of the barrel business. And no, I'm sorry. No, we deserve to be protected and provided for like any other woman. Like any other woman. And so this is what I'm saying, right? Yes, black men do treat me differently. People even on my videos treat me differently than when I have this hair up against my head and I look like I'm exotic or I have some sort of different genealogy. Yes, they treat me differently. If you look at the stars that we exalt, we have no divas in the rap or R&B kingdom who are darker than a paper bag. No mega divas. We got Beyonce, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, what's that, Ciara. Not one of them darker than a paper bag. Jennifer Hudson in all her talent. How much would we have exalted her if she looked like Ariana Grande? How much, right? So I want to hear your thoughts about it below. I've said a lot, and I'm really not trying to offend anybody, but I do want to say this as I leave the video, right? Black women, what would it be like if we allowed black men to go towards the women who have the genealogy that they want? We know that in this country we covet mixedness, and we think mixed babies look so cute, and some of these men are getting with women to produce daughters that look like the women that they would have liked to have got. What would it be like if we allowed those men to get with the women who have the genes and genealogy that grows that type of hair that they would want? I'll never forget how disappointed I was when Usher was singing that song talking about your hair folds down to your waist like waterfalls. And I'm like, really? Our hair sticks straight out and goes up. The queenly halo, baby. But what would it be like if we allowed those men to go towards those women and we were our natural selves and showed our natural 4A, 4C, 3, whatever hair it is that we have naturally, and attracted men to us who are in support of that? How many of our relationships would look different if the men were really, really, really interested in being with us and not placating us until they can rise up or be healed or rebirth so that they can get with who it is that they really want to get with, now that they've been made brand new? Because when it comes to, listen, I'm not going to go off into too long because I want the video to end and I want to leave some stuff for you to talk about in the comments. But what would it be like if we let our natural queenly halo shine through and learned how to do our hair? There was a time in this country where they had to outlaw black women from wearing their hair naturally because we made it so beautiful. And then we started making our head wraps beautiful when they forced us to wrap our hair. But what would it be like? What would we exude if we weren't sewing on the DNA of another race of woman on our head? Because when we go and we sew on here, like there was a woman who in my video, and I hope you're watching this, who was talking about how she suffered from alopecia, so weaves are necessary for her and her self-esteem. But then I wondered to myself, when you sew on this other hair, are you sewing on 4C, 4B, 4A? Are you sewing on African looking hair? Are you? Just makes me wonder. So what is it really truly doing to our esteem deep down, wearing somebody else's quote unquote crown? How does it affect us in ways, just like when we were talking about this man who needs therapy because he may not be aware of how certain things are affecting him? How is it affecting us to be thought of as prettier with another race of hair? People fall and trip all over themselves. You know what? I would go and get me some long straight hair so you could see how I look so conventional. So with the conventional beauty. And then don't get me started on how our daughters don't know what their natural hair looks like, so that when we grow up, we don't know. We think we're gonna have some 4A hair, and it comes out in another in a really tight coil pattern, and we're like, oh, I thought I was gonna look like Freddie from A Different World or whoever, or I thought I was gonna look like Puerto Riqueña aquí. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop being ignorant right now. I'm getting out of this video. I'm getting out of this video. I will see you all later. Please, let's have the conversation. This is the beginning of the conversation, and we're going to go from here because we're going to find healing here today. Tanya TKO, make sure you subscribe, share my videos, comment, and we'll talk in the comments. I'll see you down there. Peace.